yes. Welcome back to Phazerville. Chill cat. Her name's Mal. Mal and Mallory. So I got these trippy visuals. And I need them in the background. My face. You guys. I just have a couple tracks that I wanted to show off. Can you hear me all right? Who's out there? Say hi. Am I live on Facebook? I'm running my microphone audio a little differently, so I'm not sure. Check. It might not be as like it's not being EQ'd. So there's probably more boom. This mic is more booming. The track you're hearing right now is called Sexercise, and it's I covered it in the last live stream. It was the last big track that I made for end of Stoptober. Basically the last banger of October. These visuals, man. This is all like generated on the fly. But I can't take full credit for the programming. These are all presets that people have designed. Just incredible though. This is Milk Drop. Milk Drop, the visualization that comes with Winamp. right, you guys. So, yeah, it's been a minute, and I'm not fully prepared for this today, but so I do have like a couple new tracks that I wanted to show off in case anyone is interested. But I hung out with Jes Rai last week, and she's got all kinds of cool little, creativity inspiring things. I just want to play them. Oh yeah. And then I also had this other one that I recorded some vocals on that I'll show. But let me get the projects loaded up. But anyway, so Jes has this little analog synth unit called Behringer Crave. If I was more prepared, I'd have a photo up on the screen right now. Wait, yeah, okay. More cravings, yeah. Do I have a photo? Let me find a photo. Yeah, she's awesome. She's all about all the any kind of, creative thing. She's into it all. And kind of like me, like I feel like we're very similar kind of creative spirits. Like, we don't discriminate in any one medium, I'm always willing to play with any kind of device that makes sound. I will gladly play with it. So I went over to her house to hang out and just vibe, and like immediately Trev was like, do you know anything about oscillators? And I'm like, yeah. Like, maybe you can help us figure out how this thing works. And it was just like immediate, like that's all I was interested in. Like, that's all you got to say is like, hey, can you help us? Can you help figure out how this synthesizer thing works? I'm like, yeah, I will completely dive into that wormhole and never emerge. Analog synthesis. I don't, honestly, I think it was probably the first time that I ever actually physically played with an analog synthesizer. Let me show you what it looks like. Will this work? Yeah. Oh, but maybe I can hide myself for a second. Yeah. So, yeah, this is she has a Keystep too. Same as mine, but this over here is the Behringer Crave. So it's a analog synthesizer, but it's semi-modular, so you can patch in different things, like I don't know if anyone watching this knows anything about synthesizers. You can route various control voltages to make it act certain ways. But it's got one oscillator, a filter. There's one envelope, a modulation section with an LFO, and then there's like an additional there's like this VC mix knob over here that is, from what I could understand, it's kind of like just a programmable knob that can do anything. But you can like route the LFO, say, to the filter cutoff manually with a patch cable or something like that. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun just like figuring out how it works. Oh, there's one of my indulgences. All right. Enough of that. Yeah, dude. I mean, I've resisted getting into modular stuff because of how it can really suck you in. Like, I don't even need to get into it to know that like you can spend thousands of dollars on modules, and it's just like so complicated. It's fun. Like, I understand it's a lot of fun to play with, but you can spend a lot of time just noodling around, and I don't have that kind of time nowadays. Maybe someday, if I save up a big, retirement thing, when I retire, if I ever retire, then maybe I'll get into modular synthesis and spend all my waking hours on it because that's what it requires. But needless to say, the Behringer Crave though it goes for like $250, super affordable in compared to a lot of hardware synths out there. So if I'll probably end up hanging out with her again and playing with it, but I'm very tempted to buy one of my own. Although I'm kind of thinking I want to get something different and then go take it over there and have a little synth play party, My lady will be unhappy. It's whatever. Me and my lady are quite independent anyway. Yeah. She just kind of keeps to herself in her art studio, and I keep to myself in my music studio a lot of the time. Anyway. Let me just play these couple things that I've made. Actually, I'll play them. By the way, look at my desktop. It's kind of fitting for today. It's like raining outside, and it's just kind of a lazy day in my bedroom studio. The actual photo is an animated GIF, and the rain is animated, but it won't show like that on my desktop. Okay, so I called them cravings and more cravings. But let me just play these couple tracks. Maybe a little bit of preface. I don't know. The first one was my initial experiment. So I kind of just set up a beat, like a basic beat, using some drum sounds that I have already used a million times. So like a little bit of beatbox noises, just to build a basic beat so I could play something on top of it. And then I was like recording some synth parts from the Behringer Crave. I was probably playing them with the Keystep and morphing the sound, literally morphing the sound by physically turning knobs. That is the novelty about analog synths, is that you can physically manipulate the sound. Like, that's the whole appeal. So anyway, here's the track. Yes. So that was the first one. Pretty dope bass noises, you know. Hold on, I gotta say something before this next one plays though. But you know, it's got really nice, rich, warm bass tones. And like from what I was reading, the filter, well, both like the oscillator and the filter are really good quality for the price point. Like the resonance that comes through on the filter, I guess sounds really good. Compared to other like cheap synths, you know, like I don't know. I haven't had enough experience with actual analog synths to know for myself, but this Behringer Crave has a really nice sound. So, like I said, the percussion in that last one was just samples that I had, mostly of me beatboxing. And then all the synth stuff you heard was like there was the nice rich bass, and then that higher thingy. I could work a lot more on that, but that was just like the initial experiment. This next one is made of exclusively sounds that came out of the synth, including the drums. And actually, the drums are really nice. I'll break this all down in a minute, but let's go ahead and hear this one too. Cool. Pretty cool, huh? It needs like more instruments on top. I just wanted to point out that you can see my cat sitting on my bed, being cute.
Yes, you are. You're so cute over here.
All right. Krista, thanks for being here, by the way. And Eric, Bryce, I mean, whatever your name is nowadays. Myrika, I see you out there. I'm not like the comments on Facebook aren't gonna show up in the chat on the stream, but I see you. If you wanna join in, come over to YouTube. Ah, jeez, man, come on. Hold on. How do you get the link? What's the actual link to it? Damn it. Like, alright. Share. Why is this so difficult? Copy. Get off. There. Just real quick. Alright, now I'm not paying attention to Facebook anymore. Sorry, alright. Okay, we're done with that for a minute. Back to my DAW. Alright, so I'll break it down just a little bit. The first one, called Cravings. You can hear me in the room, right? Like, I have 2 microphones set up so you can hopefully hear me a little better when I'm not right up here. So this was the initial experiment. We got this little choppy beatbox loop thing. That came out of, I don't know, some other experiment thing. And I wanted to reuse it. It's been slowed down a bit. But that's just like a texture loop. And then there's... I haven't done any like proper mixing on this project. Then there's just a basic kick and snare. But, you know, I've got it pretty nice and fat, you know. And then here's a bass that I recorded off of the Crave. I am doing a little processing, I guess. I've got a Camel Crusher, so that with the fat mode compressor. So this is beefing it up a bit. And some chorus, just a little bit to give it more width, I guess. And then some OTT, just a little bit. Let me see, without all this, that's the raw sound. No, wait, I still have mastering on. So that's the raw sound. But I'll leave the mastering on so it's loud enough to hear. Camel Crusher is giving it a little bit more grit. Oh yeah, the tube distortion is cranked all the way, so it's like really distorting it. And then chorus, making it wider. And the OTT really brings out that you know, the high end fuzz. It's not really, I don't know if I'd call it fuzz on this one. Yeah, just really nice bass. And that's all there really is to this one. It's just the thick bass line and then this lead thing. Look, if I zoom in, you can see it's not quite aligned, but it fits. This lead thing, we've got OTT, some tube saturation, Valhalla Supermassive to give it a bit of echo for more space, fake sidechain. Oh yeah, I do this sometimes. So it's giving it a sidechain feel, but there's no actual kick or anything triggering it. So sometimes I'll do this. I use this proximity plugin because it can act like a volume fader, but also has like this other stuff that sort of model and emulate the effect of it being farther away in a room or something like that. So proximity, literally, it makes it emulates the feel of something being closer or farther away. Can I? Yeah. So the fader itself is being modulated by an LFO in Reaper's, built-in modulation settings. So it's an LFO, a saw wave LFO that's, just emulating a sidechain compression. And then what else? A little bit of EQ to roll it off. In fact, that could probably be higher. Yeah. There's like hardly any low end in this. There's no reason not to high pass it a lot. And then a final compressor. So let's see, like without all of that, this is the raw sound. And so what it was, I think, was an arpeggiator. I think I was using the Keystep arpeggiator and just holding down one key. So it was just playing one note repeatedly at that, that speed. But you can also hear how there's like a slow LFO on the synth itself that was kind of making the sound morph. It was kind of moving the filter, and I think it was also moving like the modulation knob on the oscillator. So I can't explain it. And I'm too far removed from the actual session to tell you exactly what I was doing, but this, I just recorded this live with the synth running, its thing, and I've chopped and manipulated it. But so that's the raw sound, and I just brought it to life a bit with a bunch of effects. Let's see without this sidechain. It's subtle. I've dialed it in so that it's subtle enough, but it still makes a difference. Like, mwah, mwah, mwah. Like I say, that's pretty much all there is to it. Then there's this one other thing that actually is really what the track needs. That's the raw sound. So that's just the synth, and I was just playing notes live. It's just a little too sloppy for my liking, so I might go in and manually chop some of these little stabs and just remake an actual pattern. But for now, it's all right. I have some cyanide distortion on there, wave shaping distortion, a typical saturator just to make it fatter, OTT, always, EQ to narrow it down to just this section of the frequency spectrum. Yeah, so it's nice little crunchy stabs. Still playing. Okay. There's a few other things out here. This was like the initial project where I was just recording a lot of sounds from the synth. I've taken some of them into this other project that I'll show you in a minute. But out here we got a little section that's at 174 BPM because I just wanted to get at least a little sample of something I could use for drum and bass. Oh yeah, all right. So this percussion, for one thing, this percussion did not come from the synth. It's the me flicking my cheek thing from some of the Foley percussion that I covered last month, and I actually really like how it sounds this fast. That's gonna be some really good drum and bass percussion. And then I recorded a lead from the synth. I guess it's a lead. It's like an arpeggio. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's total like sub-focus vibes. But I haven't done anything with it yet. What's this out here? Like I can just feel it. I can feel the vibes in there. This is gonna turn. It's gonna explode into something. I'm probably gonna get off stream and just zone out on this. Build it up into a really, really big drum and bass track. Well, let's see what other. What is that? I haven't reviewed all this stuff in a minute. This. They're very, very video gamey noises. Isn't that great? Typical like siren phaser noises. These are just lots of sounds that I recorded from the Crave. So it was like me pressing a note and while twisting a knob. This one. I really need, this is the next step. I'm going to reuse this sound for a lead. I think the rest of this is just like a bunch of nonsense. Oh. Like that, what you're hearing is the filter resonance on the Crave. All right. I got to take a quick break. I'm going to play some tracks. We'll get this going again. To mute the thing. Some jungle vibes from back in April. good looking out. Yeah, Hibiki. Thanks for tuning in. I love these visuals. It's Milk Drop, which is the visualizer that comes with Winamp. And I've got it set on a collection of presets from I think it's the creator, Geis is his name. Ryan Geis, I think is his real name. But he's done incredible work on like this visualizer engine, and I don't. He's put work into. I think he was on the engineering team for the Xbox Kinect. That the technology that recognizes your body movement for interactive gameplay. He's done a lot of really impressive work. Okay. All right. We're going back to the DAW for a minute. Yeah, dude. Hold on, I'll drop a link in here. If you want to experience it without installing any software, just go to webamp.org, and it's an implementation of the Winamp media player in the browser, including Milk Drop. I am so thoroughly impressed just by the fact that can be done. Like you can and it's like a fully functional media player. You can like add your own files to the playlist and it'll play local files. But most impressive is that it has Milk Drop in the browser, and you can full screen it and get those trippy visuals just from a website. But I digress. We're talking about the Behringer Crave semi-modular analog synthesizer that I had the pleasure of playing with. Yeah, Milk Drop is the visualizer plugin. So it's like it's the visual graphics engine that generates those visuals. But why do you do this? But anyway, I'm kind of showing off some music I've made with this analog synthesizer, the Behringer Crave, that I got to play with at Jes Rai's house. This is the Keystep controller down here, but this orange and black thing is the Behringer Crave semi-modular analog synthesizer. Yes, very cool. So I think I'm gonna move on to this project. This is the one. This project, the goal is to make a whole track using only sounds from the Crave, and it's got to be only sounds that I happened to record while I was there. But there's a lot of cool, like out here, this is the track over in here. But out here in the outskirts is like the raw recordings that I haven't picked from yet. Yeah, Halloween was pretty lit. It was just a few of us. Like 6. Me and my girlfriend live here. Jess and her boyfriend came, and then Henry and Grace Grace, are you out there? Who else is still out there? I know not many people are watching right now because it's probably too late. But yeah. So, okay, so the Crave, I think this was like there's a little noise generator, like white noise. So I had it running on I think I had it running on like a pattern, like it was playing a sequence, and I was tweaking all kinds of knobs. Like tweaking the envelope shape. And there was like an LFO modulating the filter and all kinds of stuff. Out here, like you could see it coming. It's a bunch of noise, like modulated noise. And some of these little hits are excellent drum hits. Okay, let's hear it. Right on. Thanks for popping in. Peace out. So it's just all kinds of like this, like high filter resonance and just that's just playing around. So like these are excellent for percussion. I already pulled a few of them out to make a nice snare, and there's like one that I found that made a good kick. In here. You hear that? There's some good kicks in there. Like those are this one that's a nice really low frequency, but I think I like that one right there. That makes a good kick if you pitch it down. Or this one. I pulled one of them out and made it into a kick. And then so, you know, this is in my usual style where I just record noises for ever for, you know, just like an hour of recording audio, and then I go back through and pick through it. It's just so cool that you can make, you know, if you get creative, you can use a single analog synthesizer like this to make all kinds of noises and then build a full track out of it. Just like a lot of little noises that became hi-hats or whatever. Anyway, like all this that I'm playing through right here are the leftovers. I've already chopped out some of the good stuff to build this track. This thing in the front was just like a snippet that I thought sounded cool enough for like an intro. And then down here we got these drums. Okay, I've heavily processed some of it. Like this is called Weird. That has like a buttload of distortion on it, so it's quite far removed from what it originally was. This is the original. That was the original. I slapped a bunch of cyanide. Look at this. Soaring Designs, what's up? Wait, are you who's Soaring Designs? Are you Grace? I know who you are. Soaring Designs. Why do I know your name? But anyway, so this cyanide, you see, like this is like a completely backwards wave shape, and it's just massacring this sound. Just making it into a crunchy thing. It's just a background texture, okay? And then here's I've just high passed, completely high passed this thing to make it into like a hi-hat thing. The snares. Oh, this is just a little snare. Gabe, what's happening? McDanks. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I'm just kind of showing off some music I've made recently with an analog synthesizer that I got to play with. I don't have it here, but I keep going back to show the photo. This guy. So it's a physical analog semi-modular synthesizer that generates a lot of fun noises and tones, and it can do a lot of things. Yeah. So I'm showing off this track that I made using only sounds from it. Here's the kick. Oh, it's already been glued. I'm using that same technique from that I showed off a week or two ago, where I'm sending the kick to a separate track that is distorting it and high passing it just for the top end crunch. You hear that? And then there's just the kick without it. See, without it, it's just just bassy. Like if you're listening on your phone, you probably can't hear this very well. But then you send it to a separate track and add some distortion and high pass it, then it's got that nice top end crunch. But this was just one sound that I pulled out from the recording, and I pitched it down a bit, I think, and it makes a really nice kick. So all together we got that kick, the hi-hat stuff, this tiny snare, the really crunchy stuff in the background. Let me mute that for a second. And then finally, the real snares. It's raining. It's raining outside. I love the rain. I might have to record it. These snares. I don't even have... So these are those two pieces of the snare. One of them's like this, so it has a bump. A bump that's boosting where the punch is. That's on the punchy one, and then this one's just like the top end. But these are just... There are actually 4 different sounds. The punch one... And then the top. So I just pulled those out of the recording, and they actually, with like minimal processing, it sounds pretty dope. Like those are pretty good snares. I was pleasantly surprised. All together, the beat. And so like this hi-hat track right here is constantly evolving because I pulled different pieces of the recording where I was like twisting knobs while it was playing. Very dynamic. Like, so that's part, like I was saying before, part of the appeal of using an analog synthesizer is that you get that super dynamic, like live feel, at least if you do it this way. If you record it in live and manipulate the sound physically while it's recording, then you end up with a nice bass line that constantly evolves. Like you can see it in the waveform. What I was doing, I think, was slowly turning up the decay on the envelope so that each hit gets a little longer and then shorter again as I turned it back down. And then like over here. Over here I flipped a switch or just cranked it. Probably oh yeah, the sustain. I probably turned the decay all the way up so that it was a sustain note so that it's more full. Yeah. So it's a very dynamic kind of way to perform a synth part. But that's all that's in here right now is just this bass, and then this other track is just the bass line doubled with some effects, including this pitch. So it's like pitching it differently. That's literally just the same bass line, but with a bunch of pitch effect and all kinds of other effects. Like, that was all I could think of to do to try to add some more top end parts. But I'm going to go back through and probably add this lead thing. Where did it go? This? Yep. I would prefer to play something in live using this sound, but at least I recorded some little bits of it and I can resample it and add it in here as a lead. The synth definitely has that sort of 80s vibe to it. Like, I think it's probably really similar to a lot of the synths used in the 80s and specifically used for the music for Stranger Things. Definitely. I think that's all I have to show on this thing. Oh, there's... Yeah, I just love it. Like, it's constantly evolving. A little bit higher filter resonance out here for that flavor. normal. And then over, so this is like a little breakdown or whatever. And then over here, this is a completely like different part. Like I don't know if it's playing the same notes. I think it's playing the same notes, but I cranked up the swing on the sequence pattern. So it's like so it's like a completely different vibe over here, but I thought that was a really neat. It was really neat how this bass pattern fits with the beat that I had already constructed. So this is kind of like a bridge or something. Oh, why am I getting in the red? And that's about all I have to show for today. I've gone over an hour. It's time. But I will be putting more work into this, maybe. As the night goes on. I'm just starting my day. It's 9:45 p.m. here, but this is when I'm just starting to wake up. Hope you enjoyed. I'll play you out with a bunch of music I've made. As always, hit like and subscribe and all that. Follow me for more cool stuff. Leave me comments. Let me know if you have any questions or what you want to hear from me. But with any luck, maybe I'll get one of these little synths for my own, and it will find a home over here on my desk where I haven't set everything back up yet because I'm always tearing things down and setting up somewhere else and doing other things. I don't know. Like I just want to say that, like, you can't, at least for me, like, I'm super ADD, so it doesn't help to have everything set up all at once. I need creative restriction is what I'm trying to get at. Creative limitations. So, like, it's okay that I don't have literally all of my gears set up and connected to each other all in one place. It's really like it's helpful for my creativity to just set up like the one part that I want to play with. Like, I have my Keystep in front of me, and like my mixer and my Kaoss Pad are in the other room right now, and then there's like this other controller that's just sitting off to the side. You know, I don't necessarily need all the things all at the same time. The dark vibe. You mean visually or the music? I do too. It is good vibes. I think I'm ready for some breakfast. some breakfast, and then I'm gonna zone out because I finally got enough sleep last night. Today. It wasn't at night. I just slept all day until like 6 p.m. But I really needed it. I haven't been getting more than like 5 or 6 hours of sleep. I guess I'm inadvertently doing No Shave November. I don't know. I think I might shave it. Like right now. All right. Time for me to get out of here. Oh my gosh. Look at this visualization. Look at this. Hold on. This one is so cool. Like I can't even. This is being generated on the fly. Let me play some music and I'll get out of here. Probably this one. Thank you for tuning in, guys. I'm DJ Phazer. I'll catch you next time. I gotta get my stuff set back up and then maybe I'll do some more live looping. Because I know that's what you want. You want the music. You don't want to listen to me talk. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Gabe. Make sure you're subscribed. Peace out.